Hey guys, Baddies Gone Wild, episode 6, review slash recap. If you're watching me on TikTok, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. And if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you follow me on TikTok. So we're picking up where we left off at the end of episode 5. Daisy and Bahati are fighting. I'm very proud of Bahati. She stood on business. She did leak Daisy, but overall, Daisy definitely won the fight. We know that Daisy is a better fighter than Bahati, but I like that she gets in the paint. Their whole situation kind of reminds me of Rolly and DTB, like even down to what happens later on with Bahati getting scalped, which we'll get into. Like Rolly did the same thing to DTB, pulling her braid out, and Rolly personality and Daisy personality are very similar. And I feel like Bahati and DTB are very similar. They both not the greatest fighters, but they never scared to get out there, and they both are trolls. And the security definitely was being biased because Daisy did take the win overall. Big Ant was in the confessional talking about it was a tie. I could see him saying that because Bahati did leak Daisy, so I guess you could call it a tie if you want to. But Xavier was talking about Bahati won. Come on now. So then we got Goofy, Gloss Up, Cupcake, Rella, M, Teetee, and Ming talking about some wild beast take shots, encouraging Daisy and cheering her on because she fought Bahati. Because they wanted to see this friendship fall apart. And Daisy, you really let them manipulate you into it. Mainly Coco. And I hope you watching this back feeling stupid. You let the girl who you gave a red eye, who still got the eye, manipulate you. Coco figure, you know what? I can't beat Daisy physically, so I'm about to mentally and psychologically mess with this bitch. I'm about to ruin her friendships. I'm about to have her beat her friend up, look stupid. She's not going to win the money. Like, yeah, Coco ate you up, Daisy, actually. You need to get that at the reunion. Then Rella is a goofy. She was in this episode talking about Daisy. I told you Bahati was weird. I don't not F with bees for no reason. But then in episode 7, she gonna say, oh, I'm happy all the girls stuck up for me when it came to the Erica thing with the whole portable charger. Because in real life, I don't F with bees. So do you always have a problem with girls or not, Rella? Daisy was being very delusional, low-key trying to play victim, talking about, oh, everything that they said about you, the fact that you was talking about me, now I know it's true, because why would you put your hands on me? You should have never put your hands on me. That's not a real friend. You was in that girl face, standing over that girl, putting your fingers in her face, kept trying to play in her face, was hitting her hair and everything else. You thought you had a pussy, you thought you had a punk, and you thought Bahati was just going to keep letting you do that. And you definitely didn't think that when she did swing on you, that she was going to land a punch that was good enough to leak your ass the way she did. So I don't know why Daisy playing victim. The way you was coming at Bahati, it seemed like you wanted to fight. And she gave you exactly what you was looking for. You wasn't coming at her like a friend. So Daisy tried to tell Bahati she wasn't going to sleep in the house. Bahati said, I am sleeping in the house. So then Daisy said, okay, well, you going to sleep on the couch like a dog. And Bahati said, okay, I don't care. Am I sleeping in the house or not? If I sleep on the couch, I'm still in the house. Like, figure out what you saying. Because you just talking shit and you really not going to do nothing. So Bahati's feeling herself. She's talking, saying she's the big dog now. Daisy's the small dog because she busted her lip. And she goes over to talk to Oxy and Shay. And they're basically like, you know, you and Daisy were supposed to be friends. Like, why did y'all fight? But Bahati is like, Daisy want to believe what everybody else telling her. So it is what it is. And Daisy keep talking in her confessionals like she's under the spell of delusion, that she feels like she was Bahati's superwoman and she was taking all these fades for Bahati. As far as I know, Bahati been taking all her fades. The only thing that Daisy did was when she saw Bahati getting jumped, she jumped in, but she didn't even know Bahati at the time. So it wasn't like, oh, I did that because you're my friend. She did that because she said she was just against jumping, period. And probably because she knew that that would look good for the fans and the cameras. And Oxy really could have been a fan fave, but she been doing so much stuff in these recent episodes that I don't like. But in this moment, she did say something else that I did like. It seems like sometimes she's the only person who really sees through the BS. In her confessional, she was like, if anybody should have been fighting, it should have been Coco and Bahati or Coco and Daisy. Coco was definitely supposed to run a fade because she was the one who was running back and forth with the mess, and it was lies. So Daisy and Coco end up walking over here with all the other lames, and Teetee is going to basically say, okay, Janelys, how do you feel about the fact that you had to fight Daisy? And Janelys said, I really don't care. If anybody want to fight me, I'm going to get out there. I don't have a problem with Daisy, but she wanted to fight and she was mad, so it is what it is. And Daisy basically was like, it's really not no beef, but I just needed my phone. And I did agree with what Teetee said, like, you know, we may not like Janelys or we may not like what happened with the whole phone situation, but at least she stands in the paint. Even though she can't fight, Janelys really has never turned down no fades. Where we got other girls like Jaden, who's in the house that's really not doing nothing and kind of letting people run all over them. So Teetee was like, with that being said, I do feel like you should stay. Because it's like Janelys be on go. If you call her out at any moment, she's going to put her hands up. It's not going to be, oh, I don't want to fight right now. I'll fight you later. Let me go get my swim cap. I'm going to pick and choose. Like, that's what Jaden and Shay be giving low-key. Like, they don't always be on go. So the girls are on their way back to the house. They're on 2 separate buses. And Shay basically says, we have a new person on our bus. Cupcake is riding with us today. She's never rode with us before. So it's Bahati, Oxy, Shay, Jaden, and Cupcake. And then all of the other girls are on another bus. So they was like, okay, so Cupcake, you good? You not in no drama? And she was like, yeah, I'm just here listening and chilling and popping my shit in my own way. I would have been like, Cupcake, you need to not ride with us no more because I don't trust you. I feel like these four kind of have their own little clique, Bahati, Oxy, Shade, and Jaden. And Cupcake is a messy ass bitch. I wouldn't even want to talk with my bitches on a bus with her because I feel like as soon as we get off the bus, she gonna run and tell Daisy and anybody else that they was talking about what they were saying. So they basically said that to Cupcake, like, you basically be on the other side, so why you even riding with us? And Cupcake in person was like, oh, I'm not picking no sides. I talked to all of y'all individually, this, that, and the third. But in her confessional, she was like, oh, well, if they do feel that way, like I'm picking sides, then they could feel that way. The other girls talk to me more than them. They be walking by me and they don't even say hi or anything. So then why are you on the bus with them, like I said? You're here to collect information. I see right through Cupcake. So Cupcake asked Bahati, do you feel like you and Daisy could talk? Do you think y'all gonna get in the paint again? And Bahati basically said, we definitely gonna get in the paint again. It's nothing to talk about. I trusted her more than anybody. And she came at me crazy and she believed what everybody else told her. So on the other bus, Daisy was telling Gloss that she need to get that with Shay again because Shay dragged her ass across the sand. And she was like, oh, you think I'm not? So apparently Gloss Up is going to try to get her lick back. She definitely needs to because she got embarrassed. And then Daisy was like, yeah, that's why I'm quiet too, because I know exactly what I want. So basically she's saying as soon as they get in the house, she's on Bahati's ass because she's mad about this busted lip. She's embarrassed as well. Hurricane M is still talking about Jaden, saying that she's not going to get off of Jaden until Jaden apologizes on camera, but she guess she going to wait until Jaden stops saying her arm is hurting. Hurricane M, you need to wrap up the stale ass storyline that you're trying to push with Jaden because she don't even really want to do it no more. It's old and it's boring. Like, we on episode 6, 7, and you still on the same shit with her, and that's the only person you really got beef with. Like, find somebody else to beef with. Get some other type of camera time. Coco said that Jaden was talking shit on the internet saying that her arm is well rested, so she should be ready for Hurricane M. Teetee was basically saying that Bahati said she wanted a fade with her, so she's ready to do that. I don't know if she was talking about Bahati or Jaden. Maybe she was talking about Jaden. But she was saying one of them wanted a fade with her, so she's ready to run a fade with Bahati or Jaden. Y'all know Teetee kind of is a follower with this group, so she got beef with Bahati, Jaden, Shay, and Oxy. I feel like it just depends on whoever she wants to get into it with that day. And I feel like Daisy knows she effed up, but she's not grown enough to take accountability. Because even on the bus, Janelys was like, you know, this situation with you and Bahati could go on forever because she's always going to get in the paint. And Daisy was like, that's true. She always is going to get in the paint. She'll fight the whole house. So it's like Daisy got respect for Bahati because she know Bahati not a punk. But she's not willing to take accountability and say, maybe I did come at you the wrong way, and actually talk to her friend so that they could realize Coco is the liar here and she manipulated the situation. If Daisy just sat down and talked to Bahati, they would have figured that out and they would have been able to get on Coco ass like Oxy said. And Teetee was basically trying to say that she heard Bahati talking about Daisy before. So then Natalie texts both Cupcake and Ming and let them know to let the girls on their respective buses know that they're going out tonight. They're going to a strip club in Brazil. The girls are excited. You know, Brazil is the home of the BBL. So they excited to see the booties and everything at the club. So then Bahati randomly starting with Cupcake and she's like, you know what? Where's my fan? I saw you with my fan earlier and I asked you where it is. Cupcake tried to say she gave it back to Bahati and Bahati gave it to Daisy. Bahati was like, I never gave it to Daisy. And then Cupcake gonna say, oh, maybe I gave it to Daisy. And Bahati was like, so you just gave it to somebody I got beef with. And Oxy was just like, Bahati don't get enough. She over here arguing with Cupcake about this fan. And it's really not that deep. She just wanted to start with Cupcake. But Cupcake just let Bahati punk her because she was like, okay, fine. I have an extra fan. You could borrow mine. And Bahati said, no, I'm not borrowing it. I'm keeping it because you gave my fan to Daisy, which means I might not get it back. And Cupcake was just like, okay, sister. Okay, you can keep it. Like, Cupcake, you're a punk. Now, keep in mind, all the girls on Ming's bus were so excited to go to the strip club. But then you're going to see when we get to that point, half of them ended up not going for multiple reasons. So the girls get back to the house. We have this group here, Janelys, Ming, Teetee, Cupcake, Rella. They're basically just talking about how they're mad that they didn't get into that excursion. But it's like, you girls don't know how to act. So it is what it is. It's y'all fault. And then on the other side, we have Daisy, Hurricane M, Coco, Bahati, Oxy sitting there. And Daisy is like, you know, now I believe everything Coco told me you said, because why would you hit me? And Bahati was like, girl, I keep telling you, you was in my face. Like, why do you think it's okay that you was in my face and I was just supposed to let you do that? You thought you was just going to stand over me and keep playing in my face? So then Daisy starts mocking Bahati's accent and she was like, yeah, you wanted to make fun of my lip, talking about, look at your lip, look at your lip. That's not what a friend does, this, that, and the third. And Bahati was like, listen, I don't really have time to hear this. So she got up and went over to the table where Teetee, Cupcake, Rella, Ming, and Janelys were. And in her confessional, she basically said, Daisy was never really my friend. She was just doing what she thought the fans would want to see, jumping in my fight because I was getting jumped. So then Daisy decides to turn around and keep talking to Bahati while Bahati done moved away from her and clearly didn't care what she was talking about. So Daisy was like, you keep talking about my lip. It's nothing wrong with my lip. And Bahati was like, girl, you have a bump right there. Then Daisy in her confessional, like, oh, she talking about I got a bump on my lip. Now I feel like she fucking with me. No, you fucking with her. You keep talking to her when she done moved away from you and clearly wasn't trying to keep arguing with you. But you like to argue in front of an audience. And you already told us that from when you had the fight with Teetee at the beginning of the season. You was like, yeah, well, me and Teetee gonna have to fight because now it's a whole audience here. So Daisy was like, okay, you better enjoy being cute tonight because we going out, so I'm going to let you slide. But tomorrow, you going to have lumps all over your face. You might not have no hair on your head, and you might not even have no teeth when I'm done with you. So next thing you know, Natalie walks in with Erica. So Rella throws her water bottle across the room towards Natalie and Erica, trying to hit Erica. Erica runs up on Rella. They start fighting. Teetee jumps in and starts hitting Erica in the head with a hairbrush. So I guess that was her get back for Erica hitting Rella in the head with the portable charger. So they going weapon for weapon. She definitely hit Erica in the head with that brush about 3 or 4 times. And then while they're breaking the fight up, Oxy basically hits Erica in the side of her face, you know, from the side as well. So now Rella's looking like a fool, crying like a baby after they break up the fight, talking about Erica hit me in the head with a charger. She hit me in the head with a charger. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, stop crying. Because your friend just hit her in the head like 3 or 4 times with a brush. So at this point, you got your get back. What the fuck you crying for? Especially when you're supposed to be the gangsta Barbie who gets in the field and you from the Bronx and Harlem. You should have had, 50 plus fights in your life, right? So you'll be all right. Stop crying. Now, I saw some discourse on the internet as far as people saying Janelys should have had Erica's back. I feel like Erica and Janelys have each other's back verbally. They stick up for each other in conversations when people say, oh, this person should go home and stuff like that. But I don't think they should be expected to get in the field for each other because when everybody was fighting Janelys over the phone, Erica was not jumping in. Janelys fought like 3 or 4 people back to back. Daisy, Shay, Oxy said she wanted to fight Janelys, but she didn't do it. Like, it was mad people against Janelys and Erica really wasn't doing nothing. That's why Rella called her out about it. Because Rella felt like Erica was defending her verbally, so she needed to defend her right now physically. Okay, so anyway, from there, Natalie lets them know she is irritated. They got kicked out of the National Park of Brazil. They wasn't able to do the excursion. And she also lets them know that the neighbors have allegedly put together a petition saying that these girls are making way too much noise in our neighborhood. You know, this is an affluent neighborhood. They have to go. And allegedly, Natalie saying they've been kicked out of the house. They have to go to a new house. Now, I don't know if Natalie did this for the plot and they really didn't get kicked out of the new house or what. Because we do got to remember that first episode, that lady was looking out the window and they blurred her face out and she was basically saying like, you girls are making too much noise. And that was when they first came in the house before anybody even started fighting. That was just from them screaming and being excited. So from there, we see the girls go upstairs. They're packing their bags so that they could be ready to go to this new house later on tonight after the club. And Rella basically said when she went in the room that she was sharing with Janelys and Erica, she ripped up Erica's name tag and she don't want Erica in her room next time. So Erica's going to have to find a new roommate, I guess, because Janelys and Rella are probably going to stay together. I don't know. Or maybe Janelys and Erica will go together and Rella will have to go somewhere else. We'll just have to see how that ends up working out. So the girls have packed up all of their clothes, but before they go to their new house, they are going to go to their hosting at the club. So once again, we see the girls get on their 2 separate buses as usual. So the girls are excited to be going to the strip club. Everybody feels like it's going to be a good time. But Coco says she feel like a lot of the girls that be in the clubs be hating on them, staring at them like they robots. And a lot of the girls agreed. So I don't know if it's some Brazilian racism or what. Maybe they just feel like y'all be looking crazy and y'all be looking a mess. I don't know. I don't know why they be staring at them like that. I mean, y'all probably come in like y'all want the center of attention. So they be staring at y'all like, who the fuck are these bitches? Because they probably really don't know who y'all are. But they see all these lights and cameras on y'all, so. Rella mentions that she used to be a bartender at Starlets. If you're from New York City, you know about Starlets. It's a very popular strip club. A lot of girls who have come through there have become influencers, reality TV stars, etc. So Shay mentions that she's a dancer. She travels and dances, so she's excited to go to these Brazilian strip clubs and see if it's 10 times better than the clubs in the US. And she's basically preparing to get on stage. And then the girls was like, okay, Oxy up next. And Oxy was like, yeah, y'all know I basically live in the strip club. I like to go and show support and love. And you know they got the best wings. But she didn't say she was a dancer. But she's acting like she's ready to get on stage too. So I don't know. We're going to see. So Janelys was asking, like, you know, where's Gloss? Where's Daisy? And Teetee said in her confessional that Gloss was sleepy. She said people was taking too long, so she ended up staying home. And she said Daisy didn't come because she got a nigga who called every 5 minutes. So she don't think Daisy could get out to go to the strip club. And that's the craziest thing to me, when people are so willing to beat up every girl in the world and they like real quick to pop on girls. But you letting a man control your whole life like that. You want a reality show and you supposed to be going and doing hostings. But according to Teetee, you letting a man control you to the point that you can't even go out and do your hosting and get your bag. But you running the house and running all these girls. Make it make sense. So as the girls arrive to the club, Ming and Erica do join them before they enter. So they arrive separately everywhere now. At first it was just Ming, but now it's Erica too. So when they get in the club, it's their regular club experience. The girls are doing their wild beast take shots. Y'all see them taking shots together, dancing and everything. But we did also see Shay get on the pole and Oxy get on the pole. They both had some tricks. Like I said, Shay admitted she was a dancer, so that wasn't surprising. She might want to go try out for Jocelyn's Cabaret after this. And like I said, Oxy had some moves too, but she didn't really identify as a stripper or a dancer, so I don't really know what's her deal. Rella was giving Erica dirty looks the whole night at the club. Erica wasn't really paying her no mind. Rella even did a confessional talking about Erica, while they was in the club. So she's giving up sass. She needs to get over it. The issue that you and Erica had wasn't even that deep, but you kept acting like you wanted to fight her and you got what you was looking for as well. So from there, the club scene basically ends. We cut to the next day and we see the girls on the buses on their way to the second house so that they could finally move into this new house. And the way it looked, they all came running out of a hotel, so I'm assuming they just stayed at a hotel for that night. So Jaden was basically saying she feels like there's no rules anymore because all the rules that were set at the beginning have basically been broken. Cupcake said, I feel like we all need to have a house meeting and we need to come up with our own rules in front of Natalie and everybody needs to agree with them because we didn't really bring those rules forward. Natalie did. And Oxy basically said, I don't know. I just feel like people going to do what they want to do. And this show and this house puts you in certain circumstances where you might go against your own morals. Because she said, I'm even against jumping and bullying and fighting people smaller than you. But I have participated in some of those things because that's just how the cookie crumbled in the house, basically. Rella asked everybody how they felt about Erica. Janelys was basically saying, if y'all going to fight, y'all can fight. But I don't feel like other people need to be getting involved. Basically talking about Teetee and Oxy. Then Daisy asked Rella if she felt like she got Erica good. She said yes. She threw that water bottle across the room. I don't know why she felt like she did something with that because I don't think it hit Erica. And it clearly didn't faze her because she ran right up on you. Like, honestly, Teetee and Oxy did more to Erica than you did. But then Hurricane M was basically like, okay, so how do y'all feel about Oxy sneaking her and jumping in? Because Hurricane M is actually against it, surprisingly. She was like, I feel like Oxy is inserting herself with something that has nothing to do with her. But I feel like that's what y'all whole group has been doing this whole season. So it's like the pot calling the kettle black. So then Daisy turns to Janelys and she's like, I honestly feel like you need to say something to Oxy because Erica stood up for you. So you should stand up for her because she got jumped. But Teetee said what I said. When Janelys was getting in the field with Daisy and everybody else, where was Erica? She was outcasted on the side. She wasn't there to help Janelys. So Jaden was even confused as to why Oxy was inserting herself. And Oxy kept saying, I just feel like we all make money off of our face. So I don't like that Erica hit Rella with the portable charger. And Cupcake was agreeing. Oxy, you're making no sense because Teetee hit Erica with that hairbrush about 3 or 4 times in her head and face. And you had nothing to say about that. In fact, you piled on by punching Erica in the face as well. And Oxy did own up and say, like, I know what I did to Erica was unfair, but I felt like what she did to Rella was unfair. So she just going to have to see me about that. I'm ready to go one-on-one with her if that's what she want to do. Shay going to say in her confessional, she feel like Erica probably got what she deserved, to be honest. I felt like that was very weird coming from Shay because you're one of the people who has been bullied in the house and been jumped on by multiple girls. So how are you going to sit there and say another girl deserves to be jumped? And Rella was basically saying, she feel like she got her lick back, but she still feel like Erica bag got to go in the pool in this new house. So basically, it's still up. So Bahati's on her bus, and she's like, Daisy's going to want the master bedroom. What do you guys think she's going to do? And they were like, she going to stand on business. And Bahati was like, not with me. And she was in her confessional popping it, saying Daisy is Respucia, she's Big Mama, she's Fat Albert, and she's had enough of Daisy. And at this point, Bahati was like, I still feel like me and Daisy could talk, but she got to come at me with better energy than she came at me with the first time. If she would have came at me properly, I would have spoke to her properly. But she came at me with the weird energy. On the other bus, the girls are basically saying, like, who's going to be rooming with who? Are we keeping the same roommates? Coco says she's not rooming with none of the people she was rooming before, which is basically Oxy, Bahati, Shay, and Jaden, I think. And then Janelys was like, my roommate situation is not going to be able to stay the same because it was me, Rella, and Erica. So they get to the new house. It's a nice house, but in my opinion, the first house was definitely better. But this house is more secluded. Like Natalie said, they're not as close to any neighbors, and it's kind of blocked by a lot of trees and stuff, so they got more privacy. So Natalie was going on this whole rant. She honestly really wasn't making no sense. In one breath, she was saying, oh, I knew you girls were going to cause drama in the first house, so I already had this second house as a backup. But then in the same breath, she was saying, oh, on my calendar, I was supposed to be leaving this week. Y'all was already supposed to be getting settled in the first house. Like, girl, what are you talking about? But she was basically just trying to rant and tell them that they're so bad, they're so wild, and they can't get kicked out of this house. And Teetee was like, oh, you was going to leave this week without giving me my chain? And Natalie was like, yeah. So Natalie randomly decides to call Janelys out, talking about take your glasses off and the little foo-foo on the hair. We don't have time for this. This is costing us hundreds and thousands of dollars. Girl, what are you talking about? Like, you're obsessed with Janelys. It's giving Janelys is the baddies going wild Scotty, the younger girl who you're obsessed with and you probably want to look like or want to fuck. But anyway, Janelys took off her glasses, but she did not remove her scarf off of her head, as she shouldn't, because clearly that was a part of her look. So Natalie sitting here telling them that this house is bigger and better, not in my opinion. And she's also ranting about how she's a mother and she was supposed to be back home with her kids by now, but she's out here babysitting them. Like, girl, shut up and get to the point. So Natalie was like, I really didn't think I was going to have to be here this much. I didn't expect one of you guys to be me because you guys are going to be yourself. But I basically expected somebody to step up and be running this house, calling house meetings and being the boss. I do feel like Daisy was doing that at the beginning. She was calling house meetings and stuff, but it's gotten to the point where the fans don't like her now, but we don't like Natalie either. I do still feel like Daisy is kind of running the house and most of these girls are scared of her. So if Natalie does want to put somebody in that position to be the Natalie, the person who's able to call house meetings, it would be Daisy because they're all scared of her. So from there, Ming and Erica walk in separately once again. And Erica was like, you know, I'm looking at the new house, but I'm going to have to decide if I'm staying with these girls or not because this whole situation with this drama is getting exhausting for me. Then Natalie basically tells them she doesn't like the teaming up and ganging up. Why did she walk in with Erica and Erica was attacked by 3 people? And she said, I don't understand if you guys are dumb or what, because you basically attacked me as well. Through that water bottle, it could have hit Natalie or Erica, but it really didn't hit either one of them because her aim was terrible. Daisy said in her confessional she hates when a bunch of people gang up on one person. That's one of the corniest things that people can do. And then Natalie was like, from what I understood, Rella had beef with Erica and nobody else. So where did all the other beefs come from? Oxy started to insert herself and Natalie was like, exactly, I don't even know why you're talking. The same way I don't know why you inserted yourself in this beef. Like Natalie was like, Erica don't even know why she fighting you, Oxy. You just inserting yourself and just want to fight. If you got a real issue, say what the issue is and get your issue. Hurricane M was in her confessionals once again basically saying Oxy should have never inserted herself in this. It has nothing to do with her. Like I said, right message, wrong messenger. So Daisy told Oxy that her jumping in was corny, her sneaking Erica was corny, and she was like, Erica's not even really a fighter, so it didn't take 3 of y'all to fight her in the first place. So Coco sitting here acting like she running the house, but she really kind of is because she manipulating and puppeteering all of y'all and y'all too stupid to see it. But she basically like, oh, Rella want to fight Erica. She knows she got to get her ones with Erica. And I already told Oxy she got to get her ones with Erica. So Natalie was like, explain why. And Coco was like, well, Erica hit Rella in the face with the portable charger. And then Rella, Teetee, and Oxy jumped Erica. So they need to have a fair fight. And Oxy socked Erica in the face. So if Erica wants to get a fair fight with Oxy, she should be able to do that too. But Daisy told Coco to shut up. And she was like, no, I feel like Janelys needs to get in the paint for Erica with Oxy. Because this all started from Erica verbally defending Janelys about the phone situation. Teetee was saying the same thing she said on the bus. No, no, no. When Janelys was getting in the paint with Daisy, Shay, etc., Erica was nowhere to be found. So why does Janelys need to fight for Erica now? But Natalie sitting there talking about, oh yeah, that's even better because she want to see Janelys fight. Because like I said, she's obsessed with Janelys. Baddies going wild Scotty. So then Oxy starts screaming at Erica and she's like, you always got a weapon. You're weak. You had the portable charger before and look at you right now. You got chains wrapped around your hand. So eventually they let Erica run up on Oxy. They start fighting and episode 6 ends there. So for Baddies Going Wild, season 1, episode 6, my most valuable baddies were Bahati, Erica, and Janelys in that order. And my least valuable baddies were Daisy, Rella, Teetee, Shay, Cupcake, Oxy, and Coco, not in order. Okay, guys, so that's my Baddies Going Wild episode 6 review/recap. I'm about to record the Baddies Going Wild episode 7 review/recap right after this, and I'll be posting both of them tonight. So I'll see y'all later. If you subscribe to my YouTube, make sure you follow me on TikTok. And if you follow me on TikTok, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. All right, bye, guys.